Hello, my dear students. At the outset, I would like to welcome you all for this 44th session of your English syllabus. My dear students, in this video session, we are going to study your fourth lesson that is all about a dog, a short story written by A.G. Gardiner. Before getting into the lesson, let us have a small recapitulation of the previous class what already we have discussed. Dear students, in our previous class, you were able to understand the usage of future tense. You came to know the proper usage of future tense and the future tense forms. And also you worked in group to frame your own sentences by using the different kinds of future tense. You have learnt the forms of future tense. So which are the forms of future tense? Future simple, future progressive or continuous, future perfect and future perfect continuous. You have learnt all these four kinds of future tense, and also you have come to know how to use properly the usage of future tense. And you are having some learning objectives. You are not supposed to worry about these learning objectives, and after listening to this class, you will be able to understand the narrative style and the simple incident developed in an interesting story, and also you will understand other nuances present in the story. And also you don't have to worry about session outcomes. After listening to this session, you will be able to understand the story and its development through simple narrative structure, and also you'll come to know about the law and its workability in human life. Let's go for the contents which we will be discussing in our further slides. You will have discussion about the author. You came to know the author of this story is A.G. Gardiner, and you will have some more information about the author. And also you will come to know the major works by A.G. Gardiner and introduction story. Introduction to this story also you're going to learn, and also you'll come to know the major characters in the story and the grievance of the conductor. It will be a very interesting content we're going to study in our further slide. Let's see. And also you will have session summary. After having discussed of all these contents, you will have session summary, and as usual you will have some multiple choice questions at the end of the session, and you will have to answer yourself. It will be very useful to check your knowledge and your understanding level of your understanding. And at last you will find the references where I have taken some source and information. Let's start with about the author. As you all came to know, the author of this lesson is A.G. Gardiner. His complete name is Alfred George Gardiner. He was an English journalist, an editor, and an author. He was from England. He belonged to Britain, and he worked as a journalist, and he was an editor to the newspaper which was very popular in England those days. And also he was an author. He authored many stories. He wrote essays under the pen name Alpha of the Fluff, and they are highly regarded. He did not write in his name, but he wrote almost all of his essays in the pen name called Alpha of the Fluff, and all the essays which were written in the pen name of Alpha of the Fluff have become very popular in those days in England and all over the world. His uniqueness lay in his ability to teach the basic truths of life. In his essays and stories, he concentrated on the truths of life. So, very interesting facts he has taken to write his essays and stories. And he deliberately cultivated a style which was accessible to the low reader. He put a great deal of care and thought into the presentation, language, and style of his writing. The word writing is missing here. So he deliberately cultivated a style which was accessible to the low reader. It means his writing, he thought of his writing should reach the low level reader of of every community. So that is what he put a great deal of care and thought into his presentation and his language, and also the style of his writing. This is about a small information about A.G. Gardiner, Alfred George Gardiner. And what are the major works by A.G. Gardiner? His major works are as follows: Prophets, Priests, Kings. And the second major work is Fables on the Shore. And another important work is The Pillars of Society. And another major work, Warlords and Leaves in the Wind, The Anglo-American, and etc. So these are all the major works by Alfred A.G. Gardiner. Introduction to this story. See, all about a dog. So what do you feel after listening to the title of the story, all about a dog? So I hope many of you are looking after dogs at your home. So why do human beings prefer to bring up only dogs at their home? Because as we all know that a dog is a loyal animal, it is a very faithful animal, right? And it shows back the same love and affection what we shows to the dog. So why this lesson is named after all about a dog? Okay, yes, let's see. And let me ask you another question. Why laws are made according to your opinion? There are laws, there are rules and regulations are made from the governments, right, in the society. So why are they made? To give a general answer, the rules are made for the convenience of the public, to protection for the protection of the public, right? We can see some traffic rules and regulations. I think you might have witnessed in your life, because many of you ride two wheelers and many of you drive four wheelers, right? While driving, we might have witnessed some traffic rules that are to be followed in our daily life. So, what are all the common rules of traffic? The first important rule is wearing helmet. It is nowadays it has become mandatory for all the two-wheelers riders, and also we should be knowing the lights, the different colors of lights, right? And what does red color indicate, and what does yellow color indicate, and also what does green color indicate. So these are all the rules of traffic, and every riders and drivers should be knowing and should be aware of all these traffic rules. So why are all these traffic rules made? Because of the protection of human beings, to rescue the human lives. These rules are all made. When we don't follow the rules, and we have to pay fine for the government, and we have to pay fine for the police, right? So here also we are going to witness such a rule. I think maybe knowing, while traveling in government vehicles like KSRTC bus and some other government vehicles, some luggages are not supposed to be carried, and some animals are not supposed to be carried, right? For example, some dangerous things also are not supposed to be carried, like cylinder, like, and crackers. They're not supposed to be carried in government vehicles like KSRTC bus, right? This can be seen in our country also. ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯಾವುದೇ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಪಟಾಕಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಫಿಶ್. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವೆದರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಅವೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್. ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಫಿಶ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ that chickens also we are not supposed to carry. Hens and chickens also we are not supposed to carry. Okay, if it is found, you will be fined. Okay, So in those days, not in those days, in foreign countries also, the same rules are being followed. Okay, this is about small information about rules and regulations. Here is a same rule which we are going to witness in this lesson. Rules are framed for public guidance and not for the sole purpose of following out rightly. Okay, of course, rules are made for the public guidance and their convenience, but when it is not necessary to follow, it is not necessary. So this is the opinion of the author H.G. Gardiner. So and he is going to be the unnamed narrator here. And rules are made for our convenience, not for anyone to create problems. By using these rules, we should not create problems, right? They're all made for the convenience of public and the citizen of the country. Rules should be exercised with a little humanity in mind, right? Humanity is very important. Only by following rules we cannot we cannot neglect humanity. Humanity should be shown when certain situations come. The lesson is set up on the street in London. The story is going to be taken place in the street of London, and the weather is bitter cold. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, it was a bitterly cold night and the east wind that raved along the street seemed to cut like a knife. ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಮೈ ಕೊರೆಯುವಂಥ ಚಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಚಳಿಗಾಲ ಅಂತೆ. I think these kinds of winter season can be seen in India right from December to February, and it starts even in the month of November also. That bitter cold. The speaker described an incident that he witnessed once he was traveling in a bus. The speaker, the unnamed narrator, is going to describe an incident that has been taken place in the bus where he was traveling. ಒಂದು ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಘಟನೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕರು ನಮಗೆ ವಿವರಣೆನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ಹೇಗೆ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಏನನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ತಲೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಹ್ಯುಮ್ಯಾನಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. Let's have information about major characters in the story. So here we find an unnamed narrator. Name is not given to our narrator. Maybe he's A.G. Gardiner. And we find a bus conductor, and also we are going to see character, a very important character, a young lady with a dog, and other passengers in the bus. So these are all the major characters, and we don't find any other characters except these. Okay, and the story is very simple. A lady has come to lady is traveling in a bus, but she's having a dog with her. ಅವಳ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ನಾಯಿ ಇದೆ, ಆದರೆ ಆ ನಾಯಿನ ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕೋ ಬೇಡವೋ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಗ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ತೋರಿಸೋವಂಥ ಮಾನವೀಯತೆ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. So let's see the grievance of the conductor. What grievance he was going to tell here. When the incident takes place, two women and a man got up into the bus on which the young lady was dressed in a sealskin and carried a dog. So when the bus stopped, three people will get into the bus, and one of the young ladies, she was dressed in a sealskin, she was covered by sealskin, and she was carrying a dog into the bus. At this point, author marked the conductor as a man with vague grievance against everything, and particularly against passengers, while he shivered at the door. He was shivering at the door because, as it was already informed, it is a season of winter, and there was a bitter cold. And when the conductor saw the lady with dog, he was disappointed and ordered the lady to take the dog out and go onto the top of the bus. So it was objected by the conductor because he is going to follow the rule. Dogs are not supposed to be carried in bus. So he's telling the young lady to take the dog out or to go to the top of the bus. In spite of this, she refused to obey his order. As there was a bitter cold, she refused to obey the order which was given by the conductor. So suddenly the conductor got angry and he pulled the bell and bus was stopped. In our country, to stop the bus, conductor will whistle, but in foreign countries, here there will be a bell in the bus, and if anybody wants to stop the bus, they can pull the bell. The conductor did the same thing. He pulled the bell and bus was stopped. The driver stopped the bus. The conductor told the lady that bus does not move on until they obey the rules. The conductor strictly told the lady that the bus is not going to be moved further if she is out of the bus, or if she is if she is going to take the dog out of the bus. Session summary. Let's have a small information about the session summary. Firstly, we have discussed about A.G. Gardiner. He was a British journalist, an essayist, and an author. Gardiner modeled his writing style after that of Charles Lamb. After Charles Lamb, he was one of the most popular writers of romantic literature, Charles Lamb. And he wrote many books like The Pillars of Society, Warlords, and etc. In this essay, Gardiner describes a commonplace incident on a bus journey through this lesson. A young lady dressed in sealskin carried a little Pekingese dog and got up into the bus. She was carrying a dog and she gets into the bus, but she was objected by the conductor. It was objected by the conductor and he pulled the bell and the bus was stopped. After ordering to obey his order, when the order was not obeyed, the conductor stopped the bus by pulling the bell. He said that bus never moves further until dog is outside the bus or at least taken to the upper deck. So it was his condition, either the dog to be taken out or she has to go to the upper deck. These are all the things we have discussed in this session, and here you're going to have multiple choice questions regarding the same lesson. Let's see. The first question is, A.G. Gardiner is a or an writer. Option A is Irish, option B is Scottish, and option C is British, and option D is Canadian. So he belongs to which country? The right option is British. He is from England, so he is a British writer. And here it is your second question. The story happens in the dash. Where does the story take place? It happens, option A, street of London, option B, street of Australia, option C, street of Germany, and option D, street of New York. The right option is, any guess? Yes, street of London. And here goes your third question. What does the young lady bring into the bus? What does she bring? Option A, sheep. Option B, a dog. Option C, a monkey. Option D, a cat. Of course, it is a dog, because the title of the lesson is also named after dog. And here is your fourth question. What did the conductor order the young lady? What does he order? To take ticket, to go out, to sit down, to go on to the top of the bus. Now option D is the right answer, to go on to the top of the bus. And at last, you will find some references. As usual, I have taken this information from your text Innovation, Board of Studies in English, Wemp University, and also I have taken a few informations from the website www.brainly.in. Thank you, my dear students, for your patient listening. So in the next video session, we will have the continuation part of the same story. Until then, have a good day and take care.